Why are global warming impacts unequally distributed across the world? Imagine a world where some places face scorching heat waves and devastating floods while others stay relatively untouched. It might seem unfair, but the truth is, the effects of global warming are not spread out evenly. Different regions experience these changes in very different ways. Some areas, like the Amazon rainforest, Southeast Asia, and parts of Africa, see more intense heat waves, longer droughts, and more frequent storms. This is because climate change doesn't affect every part of the planet equally. Weather patterns shift unevenly, causing some regions to warm faster or face more extreme weather events than others. Now, think about who is responsible for causing most of this warming. The wealthiest 10% of people in the world are responsible for a huge share of greenhouse gas emissions. Their lifestyles, industries, and energy use produce for more pollution than the average person. Interestingly, these same wealthy regions often benefit from the warming, while poorer areas suffer the worst. For example, a wealthy country might emit a lot of carbon dioxide but be far away from the places hit hardest by climate change. Meanwhile, vulnerable communities in poorer countries face floods, droughts, and food shortages with fewer resources to cope. Socioeconomic conditions also play a big role. Poorer communities and countries often lack the infrastructure and resources needed to deal with climate impacts. In cities, neighborhoods with fewer green spaces and more concrete tend to get hotter during heat waves. These areas also often have higher rates of health problems, making heat and pollution even more dangerous. People living in these places have less access to clean water, health care, and disaster response systems. That means they are more exposed to harm and less able to recover from disasters like storms or droughts. Systemic inequalities deepen this divide. Marginalized groups such as indigenous peoples, informal workers, and those living in poverty depend more directly on natural resources. They often have less access to government aid or disaster relief programs. This makes them more vulnerable to climate disasters and less able to bounce back afterward. Economic and migration patterns also influence who gets hit hardest. As some colder or wealthier regions warm up, they might see more people moving there for better living conditions. This can boost local economies but also put pressure on resources. Meanwhile, poorer tropical regions may see declines in farming, fishing, and overall well-being, which increases global inequality. In short, the uneven distribution of global warming impacts is driven by how climate change affects different regions, who causes the most emissions, and who has the ability to adapt. Addressing these differences means recognizing that climate change is also a matter of justice. Those who contribute the most to the problem should help those who suffer the most. Only then can we work toward fairer and more sustainable solutions for everyone.